We are alive. How's it going? I'm gonna adjust my computer where I can still see the main screen and do the share screen thing. Let's see here. Happening private space station details on shiny, shocking, general evidence. Okay, we're going to start off with a small naval report from Forbes. It is, give him a thumbs up. John Garimaldi tells Admiral to his face, "I do not like the way the Coast Guard is operating." The reason why this is important is because they closed down a Navy base where we used to make submarines, and they allowed it to go under as a repair facility because of some weird stuff. And this explains it. It's about 5 minutes.
Gentleman yields. Chair recognizes Mr. Garimaldi for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think I want to go in a different direction here. I was reading, Mr. Lloyd, your document, and it raises in my mind the very serious issue of maintaining the various vessels that the Coast Guard has. Noting the fall off in availability that you so clearly put in your report, I want to move to the issue of where will these vessels be maintained. We've got a problem in California. The Mare Island facility is the oldest Navy base on the West Coast.
And if you want to know why this is an important subject to me, is because if I walk out my front door and look to the right, because I'm on the first hill off of the base of the Napa River where the canal comes out in the North Bay of the Bay Area, Muir Island is right there. I can see the Navy base that he's talking about, and it's dead.
And there are 4 dry docks there. Unfortunately, the Coast Guard made a decision to not bring the icebreaker Healy to Mare Island, even though it was the low bid by over $1 million. They used a process called best value to jimmy up some sort of expenses that put the Mare Island dry dock at a disadvantage. Now, there needs to be a serious discussion, some of which I've already done with the Commandant and with the Coast Guard, about just what is this best value game that is being played. Going forward, it isn't going to do us any good to go back and debate the Healy and whether it should or should not be at Mare Island. Mare Island is a critical national asset for the Coast Guard as well as for the U.S. Navy. And I don't like the game that has been played. And I want to make sure that the Coast Guard is open and honest about future opportunities for Mare Island to successfully bid for Coast Guard work. Quality and price are the key issue here. So apparently, Mare Island Dry Dock Company had the low price except for this best value game. So going forward, I want to be sure that the Coast Guard understands the critical nature of work being brought to Mare Island. Oh, by the way, the Alameda Station is about 10 miles away. And so there's a nexus there. I'm not asking you for this issue to be discussed today at this hearing, but I want to make it very clear that I do not like the way the Coast Guard has operated. There will be other bids and opportunities for Mare Island as well as other facilities on the West Coast. But the Coast Guard and the Navy must recognize that the Pacific is one very, very big ocean, and that the Coast Guard needs to make sure that all of the facilities available on the West Coast, whether it's San Diego or the Northwest or California in the San Francisco Bay Area, have an opportunity to bid. Now, with that, I want to go to one of the questions that has...
I don't care about the next question he has to ask. I was more interested in everything because one reason I haven't been working is because of that best bid practice. If there was work on Muir Island, the iron work would be better. And that's one reason why it's not, because these guys, these folios, like playing games. And since we're going to stay on the Navy, well, Coast Guard's Navy, this next report is about money. That's not money that you and I use. We don't use this money, but the United States Navy does. And let's get to this here. This report is the secret money system on the U.S. aircraft carriers. And what that means is when these guys are out to sea for 6 months, they still have to buy products, but you ain't going to fly in helicopters full of money so they can spend it. That's just stupid and wasteful. So the military, Navy specifically, has come up with a financial system that they've been using for years that works. It has nothing to do with the U.S. dollar. Let's see what they do.
Signed to the USS Abraham Lincoln, a Nimitz-class carrier with a crew of nearly 5,000. You're about to deploy for 6 months. Middle East. No stops, no breaks, just open ocean and flight operations. You get paid twice a month, but there's no bank on the ship. So every payday you line up at the dispersing office, you fill out paperwork, you wait. Eventually, someone hands you cash. Now, you've got $800 in your pocket, and you're living in a berthing compartment with 150 other sailors. Where do you keep it? Under your mattress? In your locker? Hope nobody sees where you stash it? Some sailors did exactly that, and some lost everything when it got stolen. Others tried to avoid carrying cash entirely. They'd write checks, but cashing a check on a ship takes time, more paperwork, more lines at the dispersing office. And when the ship finally pulls into a foreign port for liberty, you need local currency. Euros, yen, dirhams, whatever.
This is a financial system
So
solved in
you
art.
find a currency exchange, pay the fees, deal with bad exchange rates, hope you convert the right amount because you're not coming back tomorrow to fix it.
Roku's self-serve ads platform. It's easier than ever with Ads Manager. Sign up today.
We give up so many freedoms as a service member when we deploy that 99% of the country just doesn't know.
Every time I choose to help a military person, I get the opportunity to stand for something greater than myself.
Sorry about that.
The military lifestyle is
Bam, you're down.
It was inefficient, risky, and frustrating.
I had to get some tea, milk. I mean,
The Navy
No.
knew there had to be a better way. By the late 1990s, the technology existed. Stored value cards. Essentially prepaid debit cards with embedded chips that hold electronic currency. The concept wasn't new. Transit systems use them. College campuses use them. But no one had tried to build a system that could work on a warship deployed in the middle of the ocean. That was the challenge. Because a carrier isn't just far from land, it's often operating under communications blackout. No internet, no satellite uplinks,
and
no
how could they
connection
get
to the outside world.
their money?
The system had to work in complete electronic isolation. As the new year rolls in, people like to talk about big resets and dramatic change. But most of those plans burn out by February because they ask too much at once. The habits that stay with you are usually the ones that are simple, steady, and repeatable. One habit that made a noticeable difference for me this past year involved slowing down at the end of.
We're going to pass by his.
More than 6 million people have used BetterHelp. USS John F. Kennedy. The goal was simple: replace physical cash with electronic currency. Give every sailor a card that works like a wallet, make it secure, make it reliable, and make it work whether the ship is docked in Norfolk or operating off the coast of Iran. The card they created is deceptively simple. It looks like a standard bank card. Plastic, magnetic stripe, embedded chip. But it does two things. First, it functions as an electronic wallet for use aboard the ship. This is called the closed loop system. The chip stores electronic value that can only be spent on the carrier. Vending machines, ship store, barbershop, laundry, all of it runs on Navy cash. Second, it functions as a MasterCard debit card anywhere in the world. This is the open loop system.
Hold on a second here. So what he just said was at the turn of the century, the Navy created a financial system that is accepted worldwide, that doesn't use cash. You see where I'm going with this? You know, the internet came from the Army intelligence. When they were done with it, they turned it over for us. Same with nuclear. They're about done with micronuclear in their submarines and nuclear ships, so they turned the technology over to us. Well, this money system's been around for over 20 some years. They're about finished with it. They're turning it over to us. ISO 222. Look at it. It's worth a look. It seriously is. The government's already figured this shit out.
Magnetic stripe on the back connects to the sailor's bank account back home. When the ship pulls into port, sailors can use their card at any of the 23 million MasterCard locations in over 210 countries. One card, two functions. And it solved nearly every problem the Navy had with cash. The pilot program worked. Within a few years, ships that once carried hundreds of thousands of dollars in physical cash started deploying with 75% less. Some returned from 6-month deployments with over 80% of their minimal cash reserves still untouched. By October 2010, the rollout was complete. The USS...
You hear that? They started leaving port with just 25% of the typical cash reserve, and their cryptocurrency that the Navy created for their sailors worked so well, they came back with 80% of that cash reserve because the sailors didn't use the cash. They used their cryptocurrency card, which is called a FedNow or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what it was called, but it was a setup. And right now we're just going into transition to accept what the Navy's been using for decades. It's funny to look at, actually.
Frank Cable, based in Guam, became the 154th ship to receive Navy cash. The entire active U.S. Navy surface fleet was now cashless. Over 374,000 cards had been issued. More than $660 million converted from physical currency to electronic value. And the system just kept running.
That's called a wealth transfer. It affects economies, actually. Not needing as much physical cash. You have to change your economy if that's going to be typical. And of course, that's what we're doing now. That's why you need to look at ISO 222.
Ships under construction started getting Navy cash installed before they even joined the fleet. By 2026, over 150 ships have operated with the system for more than 2 decades.
2 decades.
So,
this money system.
How does a sailor actually use it? Let's start from the beginning. You report to your first ship, USS Gerald R. Ford, the Navy's newest and most advanced carrier. During check-in, you fill out Treasury Form 2887. One form. That's it. It authorizes electronic transfers between your bank account and your Navy cash card. Now,
one form, and you're entered into a new economic system that's globally accepted. And it's been around for 20 years. How long's crypto been around? 12 years? 16 max? Navy's had this shit long before that. So which one do you think the government's going to go with? Something they know about and they know is going to work? Or are they going to integrate the accepted crypto that they can use into this system? ISO 222. Heads up.
You need to fund the card. The most common method is split pay. You designate a portion of your military paycheck to be automatically deposited into your Navy cash account every payday. Let's say you're an E3 seaman. You make about $2,300 per month. You decide to put $400 on your Navy cash card each payday. The rest goes directly into your bank account back home. Every payday, that $400 appears on your card automatically. No paperwork, no waiting in line.
Yeah.
If you need more money on your card, you walk to one of the cashless ATMs located throughout the ship. These aren't normal ATMs. They don't dispense bills. Instead, they're electronic terminals that let you transfer money from your bank account onto your Navy cash card. The money moves electronically from your bank to your card instantly, even if the ship is 1,000 miles from land. Once your card is funded, it becomes your wallet. You're walking through the ship. It's 2200 hours. Late. You've been on watch for 6 hours, and you're thirsty. You stop at a vending machine, scan your Navy cash card, a Coke drops. The next day, you need a haircut. The ship has strict grooming standards. Hair can't touch your ears or collar. You head to the barber shop. There are usually 2 or 3 chairs, sailors waiting in line.
Oh, by the way, if you can get any kind of business involved in military barbers on ships, it's guaranteed money because all those 6,500 sailors have to get haircuts. Guaranteed.
Your turn comes. You sit down.
Not that, as you can see, this person here is in the Navy themselves. They've got all their rank insignia up front here. So this lady or man is in the Navy themselves. But all the equipment and stuff they use is not Navy. They have to purchase it. So if you can get on that purchasing routine with a company, you're guaranteed money. Just an observation I noticed.
The barber works quickly. Clippers, scissors, maybe 8 minutes total. When you're done, you pay. Navy cash card. $8, done. The ship's store is where most sailors spend their money. Think of it as a floating Walmart, except smaller and with better prices. The store is usually located on one of the lower decks. Walk in and you'll see aisles of merchandise, toiletries, snacks, drinks, electronics, clothing, workout gear, books, Navy-themed items like ball caps and t-shirts with the ship's name and hull number. Everything is sold through the Navy exchange system. Prices are competitive, often cheaper than what you'd find on land. And all profits go back into morale, welfare, and recreation programs. New gym equipment, movie nights, recreation spaces, quality of life improvements for the crew. You grab what you need. Deodorant, shampoo, a bag of chips. You walk to the checkout counter. The clerk scans your items. You tap your Navy cash card on the reader. Transaction complete.
Now, what would be the difference between a Navy cash card that only the Navy uses on a worldwide system and that ZBCN that I put in the chat? If you do your own research on ZBCN, it is actually one of the 100 crypto that's been accepted under the ISO for worldwide transactions. And how you heard that person say that the Navy card can have you can have your paycheck some of it put in your bank account and the other put straight into the card. Well, that's what the ZBCN card's going to be. And MasterCard's already signed up with them. Japan, a couple of countries signed up with them. So in this rollover from what the Navy, and this is why I'm showing this video, because it's a perfected system. It's perfected. The Treasury Department contracted with XLM and Algo, ALGO, algorithm cryptocurrencies to work on a federal coin, for lack of a better word. And I'm just showing you in this video, that is the integration of the crypto part for the worldwide acceptance on a retail scale. Because on a military scale, you have tighter securities when you have electronic exchanges than you do in the civilian market. So basically what's happening is they're taking what's worked in the military for over 2 decades successfully, and they're transferring it over to help us change our economy to a digital economy. There's still going to be cash. As that person said, you heard them say, you have the persons who make the money determine how much of a percentage of their paycheck goes onto their Navy Cash Now, Fed Now Navy system and what goes into their bank account. Same thing's going to happen with these new credit system cards that are coming out. And I believe ZBCN is going to be the biggest. That's why I keep saying it.
System logs the purchase, deducts the amount from your card, and updates your balance in real time. If you want to check your balance, you can do it at any cashless ATM on the ship. Insert your card, enter your PIN, your balance appears on the screen.
Cashless ATM. Let that sink in. A cashless ATM.
Simple, fast, secure.
That's the
But what if you lose your card? You report it immediately to the ship's dispersing office. They deactivate the card, issue a new one, and transfer your remaining balance to the new card. Compare that to losing a wallet full of cash in the middle of the ocean. That money would be gone forever. With Navy Cash, your funds are protected. Every card is secured by a PIN. 4 digits. If someone steals your card, they can't use it without the PIN. And if someone tries to guess the PIN too many times, the card locks permanently. The ship's store isn't the only place sailors spend money. There's the laundry service. On a carrier, you can't just throw your clothes in a machine and walk away. There are industrial-sized washers and dryers, but they're operated by ship services personnel. You drop off your laundry. They wash it, dry it, fold it. You pick it up a day or two later, and you pay using Navy Cash. Then there are the vending machines. They're everywhere. Passageways, berthing areas, workspaces, soda, candy, snacks. On some carriers, like the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower,
If you can get a vending contract for a ship in the U.S. Navy, you're going to be rich. And those contracts are held by private companies, and they're very competitive, and they are shifted regularly if you have a better way of doing business. So an opportunity is presenting itself for people to do vending businesses on freaking boats. Wow. The amount of opportunity if you just get creative in your thinking.
the Navy installed micro markets, unmanned convenience stores with self-checkout kiosks. You walk in, grab what you want, scan it at the kiosk, pay with your Navy Cash card, and leave. No cashier,
Thanks for showing up, Mike. I appreciate it, brother.
no waiting. And remarkably, no significant theft. That says something about the honor of the sailors and the effectiveness of the monitoring systems in place. The dining facilities also use Navy Cash. For enlisted sailors, the general mess is free. 3 meals a day, all you can eat, no payment required. But officers and chief petty officers eat in separate spaces. The wardroom for officers, the chief's mess for senior enlisted. In these spaces, meals aren't free. Officers and chiefs pay for their food using Navy Cash.
But basically, you can run your whole life off of this system the Navy had called Navy Cash. They've had it for 25 years. They're now transferring it over to the civilian population to use. Congratulations. This is our new system. All right, let's get on to the next story because that one's kind of boring. I'm already bored with teaching you guys about what kind of system we are going to go into and how we've been using it in the military for 25 years. It's very successful, very secure. No reason to freak out. But I got something cool here before you go, Mike. It's got like 2-3 minutes. This is a growth comparison chart. You got to give these guys like and share when you get a chance. It's a Mega Data 3D gold versus silver 20-year growth comparison, 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Look at the dates, 2001, 2002. Nothing big happening. Actually, silver was better than 2004. Preparation for wait for it. Preparation for 2000. Our great fighting spree happened right there. Charts. Oh. Look at that. Financial living in 2007. What's up, Laura? Yeah, they should actually. Or talk about the card. They probably will. Silver was doing better in 2021. Something to look at historical past, see what happened, remember what happened. Wow, okay, so this causes good, causes blah, blah, blah. Look at silver go. I just gave you the proof, but your feelings got to be involved here somewhere. So you figure it out for yourself. And if they put platinum in that chart, again, in 2 years, if I'll show a chart like that again, but I'll have platinum thrown in, and you'll be like, damn, Neil, you were right. I know. You'll say that until end of 2027. You'll be like, why is platinum equivocable, if not higher than gold? Yeah, and it's less than half right now. Take your gold, trade it for platinum. 2 years, take your gold, your platinum, trade it back for gold. You'll be amazed. You'll have one free platinum plus some in 2 years, less than 2 years. All right, you can take off now, Mike. You have permission. Yeah, that's like not really charted that much war. It's if you think, okay, there's 1 ounce of platinum for every 30 ounces of gold pulled out of the ground. For every 1 ounce of platinum pulled out of the ground, oh wait, for every 20 ounces of platinum pulled out of the ground, you get 1 ounce of osmium. So for every 600 ounces of gold you pull out of the ground, you get 1 ounce of osmium. Who's interested in it? Now, if you crystallize it, put it in the crystallized form where it's non-toxic, you can add it to jewelry. You can use it as a store of value. It is better than gold as a store of value if you're a wealthy individual, because you could have a little disc that size. It's worth $1 million. And you could just stick that in your front pocket, walk through security, x-ray everything, and carry $1 million through the airport, and no one will even know to steal it. So there's that aspect to it. But jewelry is the biggest aspect, and future uses for security, cybersecurity, quantum security, locking systems, and security systems. Crystallized osmium is being used because it's got its unique refractive properties, and each piece is different. So you could theoretically take a picture of a piece of osmium, crystallized osmium, run it through your security system as the key to unlock something, to where only if that person has that one specific piece of osmium, crystallized osmium, would the lock unlock. So the future use case of crystallized osmium is going to jump, because I'm going to invest in seeing about the possibilities of making that happen. So take care, Mike. Be safe out there, and quit giving your money to Florida to build Washington ferries and straighten out your government and deregulate and de-tax them so you can be prosperous. Other than that, have a great day. Quiet. We don't want to hear from you. That's Mittens. That's my boy. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There he is. You can barely see him. Yeah, he's got a unique roar. One that's really got it is a Shadow, my black cat. He actually got outside. He's still hanging out. Wants to come inside, but the other cat's out there as he's making his move to come inside. Either one of these idiots will run to the door, stopping him, or one of the outside. Quiet! Or one of the outside idiots will stop him. Oh, wow, he's climbing. He's making serious. Oh, you made it up. Are you happy now? Anyhow, let's see what else I got to show you here. I got some other crap going on here. Let's see. I don't need that one. I can get rid of that one. Okay. Ooh, this is an interesting one. It's a total flip. Totally different subject. It's about birth and why we are having problems with the anchor baby, I believe they're called, and why I personally think it should be illegal because of this report coming up right now. To have it legal for anyone to come over here illegally and have a baby, as long as the baby is birthed in America, they're American citizens, this report will change your mind if you support them. And then trust me, China is using that backdoor against us.
The scheme for birth tourism. That's where she helped Chinese women travel to the United States to deliver their babies so that they would automatically become American citizens. Our next guest calls this, quote, a scam for American citizenship. Let's bring in Peter Schweitzer, president of the Government Accountability Institute and author of the book Invisible Coup. Peter, it's so great to have you on. Tell me more about how this scheme works.
Yeah, Rachel, what happened really beginning in 2011 and continuing to this day, the Chinese Communist Party has run articles in the People's Daily, other places, explaining to the Chinese elite that, hey, the American 14th Amendment says if your child is born in the United States, fly there. And your child can be a U.S. citizen. So this massive industry has evolved, primarily in California, also in China, where people in China will pay $60,000 or so. They will fly to the United States, the pregnant mother. They will lie on their visa application. That's where these criminal charges come into place. They say we're not going to have a child. We're just here as tourists. They give birth here. They're given the birth certificate. They fly back to China, where the child will be raised in China. The problem.
Okay, no, there's a problem here big time, because if anyone of you guys remember a gentleman by the name of Bruce Lee, a real big kung fu guy back in the 70s, 80s, early 60s actually too, or late 60s. He was born here in America, and he tried to learn this style of kung fu, and the Chinese would not teach him that style of kung fu because he was an American, even though both his parents were Chinese, and he was born here. He lived here till the age of 3, moved back to China till the age of like 14 or 15, then came back here. They never accepted him as American. So their whole perception, either as a society, has in the past 50 years changed from where being an American, even if you're look Chinese, if you're born in America, you're still a piece of crap because you're an American, to, hey, have them over here. We can use them as infiltrators and teach them how to be communist spies, and they've got American citizenship. But I'll let him finish telling the story.
Problem is, Rachel, that when they turn 18, that child will be a U.S. citizen, even though they grow up in communist China. It's a massive, massive industry.
So what can the U.S. government do about this?
It's a good question. There's not a lot. The Trump administration has done a fantastic job. This was not done, obviously, in the Biden administration or the Obama administration, of charging people with visa fraud. If you are coming to the United States and you're coming here with the intention of having a medical procedure like giving birth, you're required to disclose that on your visa. This industry says, don't disclose that. Tell them you're coming as a tourist. So if you do that, the key issue is going to be before the Supreme Court on birthright citizenship. And just to give you an idea of scale, Rachel, our federal government does not track this at all. We have no idea how many mothers from China have done this with their children. The Chinese government has looked at it, and they say it's been 100,000 a year for the past 13 years. So we're looking at more than 1 million U.S. citizens that are being raised in China. When they turn 18, Rachel, they're going to be able to vote, donate to political campaigns, and apply for government jobs in the United States.
Yeah, well, whatever Americans are assisting in this.
And that's why they call it the silent coup. And China plays the long game, so take your feelings out of this one, people. Those motherfuckers' citizenship needs to be stripped from them for our sovereignty, because we just had an enemy state 1.3 million communist Chinese party members who are being raised in China with their propaganda will be told to come over here and occupy us, and they will be able to legally do it. And they will have billions and billions and billions of dollars backing them. So you're going to have 1.3 million millionaires coming over here legally, buying everything up and turning it Chinese legally. We need to stop this shit.
Scam. Shame on them. It's treasonous what they're doing.
Yes,
and I want to get to the next topic, but very quickly, because I think it's really important. Why are the Chinese doing this? Because President Trump has this eye on the Chinese. He's kicking them out of our hemisphere, but they're finding ways around. Why are the Chinese trying to do this? What is it part of?
Yeah, that's the really big question.
Yeah,
we know
it
a
is.
couple of things. Number one, the Chinese government is encouraging members of its elite. That means military officers, intelligence officers, propagandists. They've all done this. The Chinese government is encouraging them to do it. That's data point number one. The second point we have to realize is they did this in Hong Kong. And Hong Kong, at one point around 2010, almost half of the babies being born in Hong Kong were from mainland China. So they had to end the practice of birthright citizenship because they saw it for what it was, a subversive effort. And I think there's no other conclusion but that. This is a sophisticated form of weaponized immigration as a form of subversion by the Chinese government.
Absolutely. And they were involved with the Venezuelans and many of the cartels in the weaponized migration through our border. This is a way for them to attack us without going to war. They do it through migration and other means, fentanyl, et cetera.
And economic. They're not touching on that, and we're feeling that one. The reason why we're feeling this pain is because of China. Out here in California, it'll be exposed. We were real close with China. Not me personally. I was totally against it, but, I'm not governor.
Great stuff, Peter. Let's move to this because you have a new book. It's called The Invisible Coup, which unveils potential national security implications that come with mass migration into the United States. I'm going to read an excerpt because I think this is really important. This one's about Mexico. Which is run by a communist who has very close ties with China and the CCP. That's Claudia Sheinbaum. Your book says Mexico has established a vast network of over 50 consulates in the United States that have become beacons for political activism and resisting assimilation. Mexico does not want young migrants in the United States to be loyal to the United States. It wants them instead to cling to Mexico's resentments about its northern neighbor. It accomplishes this by invading our classrooms. Local U.S. school administrators, either out of ignorance or sympathy for the cause, are happy to oblige. Talk to me more about this. This is very, very dangerous.
Yeah, the thing to understand here is that they have a massive resentment of the United States, and they speak openly about how mass migration is a means by which they are going to be exerting sovereignty inside the United States. They sometimes call it Reconquista. And this may seem like a really weird kind of fringe theory, except most of the Mexican political elite talk about it. I quote dozens of them in the book, but they've also, Rachel, set up an infrastructure. So China and the United Kingdom have 6 and 7 consulates in the United States. Mexico has 53. And as I lay out in the book, they are involved in political action, partisan political action. They are helping Democrats and fighting against Republicans getting elected. And the second thing they're doing is they are fueling the chaos in our streets. You have Mexican officials that were involved in organizing the LA riots. There's a consulate up in St. Paul, Minnesota, that is involved in organizing the anti-ICE protests. It's a massive, massive problem. We've clearly hit a nerve. The book is #1 on the New York Times list, and Claudia Sheinbaum was asked about.
That means there's foreign interference in our elections, by the way.
About the book.
But I got something else to show y'all. This is going to be real cool. We're going to take it straight from the horse's mouth. This would be, you guys know him, don't you? Big old number 42. Let's see what big old 42 has to say here. You can see his name. Good morning. Hello. I want to talk to you about a problem of illegal immigration. It is a problem our administration inherited and is a very serious one. It costs taxpayers of the United States a lot of money, and it's unfair to Americans who are working every day to pay their bills. It's also unfair to a lot of people who have waited in line for years and years from other countries to be legal immigrants. That's President Bill Clinton. May 6, 1995. Our nation was built on immigrants. People from every region of the world here have made a lasting and important contribution to our society. We support legal immigration. In fact, we're doing what we can to speed up the process of people who do apply for citizenship when they're here legally. But we won't tolerate immigration by peoples whose first act is to break our laws as they enter our country. We must continue to do everything we can to strengthen our borders and enforce our laws and remove illegal aliens from this country. President Bill Clinton, May 6th, 1995. Ain't that cool? Wow. I hope I did a good job of reading that. I was trying to be, what do you call that? Creatively impressionistic with my reading of it to give feeling to it. Let you know how serious the Democratic Party is about illegal immigration. Ooh, I hate to throw that one up in their face. But yeah, I got another little program about topic I love, space. But we're not going to say how it's happening. Private space stations being assembled for launch. I have actually spoke about that. The guy who sold $2.3 billion of Ripple stock about 11, 8, 10, 9, somewhere around there years ago. He's through $1 billion of building a private international space station to lease out to every country rather than have our taxpayers pay for it. He's going to make money on it. You know what, War? That might be a good thing. Come up with a T-shirt and sell it on the freaking show. President Bill Clinton's thoughts on immigration. May 6th, 1995. But yeah, so we have lots of issues in this country now we're trying to get straightened out. And we're trying to do an economic shift over, which, by the way, the best time to do an economic shift over is when you have a lot of other problems, because then you can sweep all of it all together, come up with something new, get rid of all the bad, and boom, you got something new. And that's why I brought this story of the Navy having their own cryptocurrency for 25 years. And that system's perfected. It has now been put in effect worldwide in what's known as ISO 222, which is 100 of the crypto, for which ZBCN is one of them, is accepted on a worldwide basis for all kinds of transactions, small ones, big ones, fat ones, short ones, tall ones, blonde ones, black ones, white ones, purple ones, green ones, all of them. So those 100 ISO 222 accepted and compliant crypto, they're safe. So you need to research that. XRP is going to be used, and they're not going to go through the moon either, because if they're accepted worldwide for financial transactions in different arenas, they're not going to be allowed to go up or down significantly. So you might want to not invest too heavily in those, because they're guaranteed not to. Because if it's used as a regulatory financial structure, you want stability. And since every country's already agreed to it, stability it is. Hey, what's up, Callie? Oh, you missed a good one. This was a good show. Well, unfortunately, War, a part of that Navy program I showed, where the Navy's been using their own cryptocurrency successfully around the world, accepted for like 25 years. The ship that show was filmed on had a micronuclear reactor they've been using for 25 years. It's getting turned over too. That's why I'm a big proponent of NNE and OKLO and NuScale, 3 American companies that are going to be given the keys to the castle when it comes to small modular reactors, micro nuclear reactors, and micro reactors, which will come probably in 10 or 15 years. Girl, the one, a matter of fact, just because you're here, it's a quickie. Oh, no, I already, I can't get it right. Sorry. Not quickly. There's like a 2-minute and 30-second. If you go back like 15 minutes from now on the show, it's a gold and silver comparison for the last 20 years, a silver line and a gold line, and it shows them going up and with percentages. If you have any question of which one's doing better over a 20-year time period, it's a graphic with nice music, but you'll have no doubt which one's doing better. You'll be able to tell everyone factually. Yeah, whatever you say, I see your 20-year flow, and after a 20-year flow, silver's far doing better than gold. But this bull run's not going to end until 2030. That's why I'm going to be surprised if it pops up too quick. Actually, if it pops up, if it doesn't stay sideways, silver and golds are, gold might run. See, here's another thing. We've already experienced this. This is in the past year. Gold ran. Silver was like, silver's not moving. Silver's not going anywhere. And gold kept going and going and going. And then they say gold runs, silver sprints. And gold ran for about 1.5 to 2 years. Then silver said, boom, sprinted. Now I think it's probably, there's a good chance, there's 2 possibilities. It's going to go sideways as gold keeps going up slowly for about another 6 months to a year. And then it'll go boom up again and stabilize at around 120, 150, somewhere around there, when gold's up around 7,000 or something like that. Or this could just be a small pullback because of political games and rich people playing stupid with our money and our future, which, well, that's kind of typical. So, and if that's the case, it might just pop right the fuck back up. Which scenario is going to play out, I really couldn't tell you. I'd say right now, though, is a decent time if you haven't already got it to get some. Get you some. Yes, March will be very interesting. I think the numbers are going to look good financially for Americans because I only worked 5 weeks last year, and between state and federal taxes, I'm getting back $2,000 for only working 5 weeks. So a lot of people have been not working a lot out here because of the government and what's going on with California specifically, with our fucked up government. So there's going to be a lot of influx of a lot of money coming to the small folks that are still in California, which hopefully there's not many of us left. So we'll see. We'll see. There's going to be a lot of money by the average person out here. So if they can stimulate a little bit of work in March for the Californian worker, it's going to look better quicker than people think. Sweet. So you swapped gold for platinum. That was a very smart move. Right now is another very good time to do that. A couple weeks ago, I was saying platinum to gold ratio was about 2 to 1, almost even. But now if we, and I'm going to go ahead and share this just as a talking point. Let me get to share screen here. See, now if you look at the gold right now to platinum, you're looking at 2.5 platinum for 1 gold. So now would be another good time to trade a gold for platinum because you get 2.5 almost, a little less than probably 2 1/3 ounces of platinum for gold, to where if you went and tried that 2 weeks ago, you'd have only gotten 2 ounces of platinum. So 1/3 of 2,000, $700 you'd have made. And there's possibilities to make, because again, if my theory on gold running up and silver waiting and then sprinting, well, platinum will follow that, and it'll go up to numbers probably where whatever the gold price is, maybe 6,000 at a time if this scenario plays out, and silver sprints again, like 4, 5, 6 months, however long it takes to get there, to where platinum now is about 2 1/3 platinum to a gold. Platinum will go probably 1.7 platinum to a gold, which is, again, if you do a trade at that point in time back from platinum to gold, you'll have made a 1/2 ounce of platinum. So if you play the ratios between gold and platinum with the volatility right now, you can really sit back and almost monthly probably make $700 or $800 in gains just trading platinum for gold. And a way to check this and say, Neil, you're full of shit. Well, take a month. Start now. I mean, don't go in the past. Well, you could go in the past to be easier, and just go for month to month and see how many differentials on months, in the past 12 months of gold to platinum ratio and what the number was. I showed a chart. It's been dropping. It was like 29, 27 last time I showed the chart. It's an outstanding time to trade gold for platinum. For osmium, I would go with crystallized osmium. And I would wait, actually, because as my subscriber over everyone else in the world, I'm actually going to be turning out quite a few jewelry products that have never been done before using crystallized osmium. The crystallized osmium is not going to make the jewelry the new thing. What I'm creating is the new thing. Crystallized osmium is going to be put with what I'm creating, and then we're going to make jewelry with it. Hey. Wow. I got a bed warmer going. Look at that freaking shit right there. That's 4 over there and like 12 on the bed. I'll be making jewelry and I'll be giving away jewelry pieces on my show. Not often, but I will. And I'd wait and get crystallized osmium that way because it'll be more valuable and you won't pay for it. But you guys are gonna have to start liking, sharing, and subscribing. I mean, you guys do, but fuck, you see my numbers. If I start giving away a couple $1,000s in jewelry, those numbers better jump. All these silver and gold channels and stuff, YouTubers. Oh, we gave away 10 ounces of silver. Cool. What was the value of that? Oh, $1,000 now. Cool. I'm going to give away 2 of my creations, probably in one night. It'd be worth more than that. Quite a bit more than that. Actually, probably twice that. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm real close. I need to get a job, get a little cash flow coming in so I can pump up production or get production started, shall we say, and then pump it up. But after it gets going, it'll roll on its own. I got to get over this last hurdle. And of course, money helps everything. That's why I need a job. I've still been moving forward with the idea without having a job. It's made it harder than fun. So I just want the harder part to end and you get a job and have some cash flow coming in where I can just, oh, I need that done, boom, pay for it to be done rather than have to do it myself and figure out how to do it, and then do it successfully. And then, because you either do it yourself or you pay somebody. And if you don't know what you're doing and you do it yourself, it's going to take a little longer. I mean, fuck, I'll give you an example. Get out of there, big guy. Hold on there. I bought all this crap. Clay. Non-stick crap for the clay. Crucible. And what you do is you pack clay, you put your thing in there, and you're supposed to be able to make, whatever. Thing is, when you pack the clay, put your thing in there, there's a lot of issues in quality control. So I've already tried my product this way. I didn't like the quality control, so I'm doing it a different way. But I got like $250 out of this. So I've actually, like I said, I'm not a jewelry man. I never made jewelry. I'm a damn iron worker. Look at these hands. You think these hands are hands of someone who can do jewelry? I've been trying to make jewelry. Unsuccessful. Learning, though. I am learning, and I am getting better, even though I'm not working. If I was working, I'd be able to get the other different equipment that I need to go in the direction I need to be successful, which is coming real close. Learning curves. They suck, especially if you're poor. Yeah, you just keep driving forward, people. You just keep working at it no matter what. Keep driving forward. This is my goal. I'm not going to get sidetracked and go somewhere else and screw myself. I did that with my mobile apiary. Matter of fact, you guys want? Nah, I showed a picture of it. I showed a video of my mobile apiary. I spent 6 years developing a mobile apiary and a beekeeping system. Revolutionary. Didn't have the money to continue it, so it's on the back burner. I got a lot of revolutionary ideas. They're all to the point where it's going to take money to take them to the next level. I call what I have is a concept prototype, meaning the concept I had to make a prototype of to show proof of concept. If you know what I'm talking about, I've already got it to that point. What's the next point? So it works. I actually had the country of Zambia was looking into my bee idea for a while until the operation I was working with stole $36,000 and ended it all. But that was my fault for getting involved with the wrong nonprofit, greedy fuckers, NGOs. No, it all comes together. Again, I've already got the concept prototype, finished product, video of it working, numbers on it. It works. My system of beekeeping that no one else in the world uses is better than everyone else's in the world. And I got proof. Worked it, So it's on the back burner. Once again, I've gone through so many ideas, it's gotten them to that point. And in my life, I've decided I'm going to go with the cheapest one first. And quite frankly, that's jewelry making. You can take 1 ounce of silver, add the crystallized osmium to it, do some cool shit, make it look sweet. You can make a lot of, comparatively to the price of the products, you can make shitloads of money comparatively to doing ironwork by hour. So, it's a learning curve, but as if you don't give up, it's back to, I showed a picture of Gene Simmons testifying before Congress of something that I said. It's the 10,000 hour rule. Put 10,000 hours into anything and you will be an expert. You don't need a degree. You'll be better than someone who has a degree because you'll have actual knowledge of putting 10,000 hours and it's different for everyone. Certain, people learn differently and at different speeds, but that's the average. For me, about 2,000 hours and it's down. And I've got about 200 plus hours into the jewelry thing. So it's coming together. And the thing is, I don't have to be an expert at it. I just have to do one. And that'll stir enough interest to where I'll have other people who are experts that'll come in. I'll bring them in and be able to show them they'll make money and it'll roll. And then I can make a president of the company and have him run that. And I can take the profit and go do something else and take something else off the back burner and make it work and move to Alabama and start my lightning crystal box. Dun, dun, dun. That's going to be fun. There was actually an article. I should get that. There's an article out of a lightning strike that happened in, not northwest Florida, but if you're looking at a map of Florida as it curves, right there at the curve, like Port-au-Prince or something like that. There's some small towns down there. A lightning strike hit a tree, did some crazy shit, and hit a rock. And there's actually scientists studying that rock because a mineral that is not naturally created on Earth was created from a combination of the lightning strike, the tree, and the rock. And this mineral that they're studying as we speak is only created in outer space, but yet the lightning, the tree, and the rock created here. So if I can get a widget that will constantly draw lightning to the same spot, well, hell, experiment galore, and you can recreate that, what happened in nature, and gain lots of knowledge and patents and scientific research and papers on science projects and all this other good shit. But let me see, lightning strike in Florida. New mineral. Let's see if this quick search does it. Otherwise, I'll be more prepared if I talk about it again. Oh, it's Port Richey, Florida. That's where it was. I knew it was Port something, Florida. They got a lot of small ports in Florida. 200-300 fucking person towns. Hold on, I'm going to share this, show you guys so you know I'm not fucking lying. Okay, lightning strike in Port, let me highlight this. A lightning strike in Port Richey, Florida neighborhood created a new unidentified phosphorus material by fusing iron and phosphorus in a tree root. Discovered in a fulgurite fossilized lightning rock, this material is a new type of phosphate that has never been seen on Earth in a solid form before, and processed characteristics intermediate between space and Earth minerals. So let's look there to and there's only one, and it's not been recreated. So if I can recreate that, I'll be famous, if nothing else. Okay, the discovery was, of course, Port Richey. Lightning struck a tree, burning an iron-rich soil, carbon in the tree. That's key element right there, creating a chemical reaction that formed the fulgurite metal glob. There was actually a rock there. If you do further study into this, there was a rock there that the lightning hit, and it got melted along with the blob. So there's a little bit more to the story than what's in this report here. Nature of the material. It is a phosphorus-based material that researchers believe may represent a new mineral group. Now I'm going to ask those few of you that are left in chat, how much money would I have if I created a new mineral group and I could recreate it, and I was the only one in the history of the world that could do that? Huh? How rich would I be? Let's see. Let's go natural material. Okay. Significance. It is the first time this phosphate material has been found in solid form on Earth, notes Matthew Pezek of the University of South Florida. Go Gators. Similar minerals have been identified in meteorites, but not previously on Earth, says Azome. Properties. The crystals are extremely small, about the width of a human hair. Very, very small. The material is currently being investigated by science to determine if it can be formally classified as a new unique mineral. So basically what's happening right now as we're breathing air is there are scientists in Florida, and hopefully it'll go this way. In a couple months, they will come up with a research paper and state there is a new mineral on the mineral table. It was created this way. And then other people will jump in and try and figure out how to monetize it. And I will be making it. Hopefully. Like I said, it's a science project, man. I love science projects. If I could get some, oh man, I'll throw some iron shit in there. I'll recreate that, cut a piece of that wood, put it there, throw some shit there, put a rock there, the right kind of rock, let lightning hit it. I'm sure I can recreate that. And if I can recreate that, oh shit, you guys are all welcome to come to my island. Because if scientists are studying a new mineral that was created in Northwest Florida from lightning strike, and the reason why I know the description I gave you was incomplete is because I have done further research on that and spoken to a couple other people to see exactly as much as possible without offering opportunities that I might be able to offer later to get information. Other than that happening, the information I got was a lot more extensive than what online said, because I want to recreate it, that exact thing, going from the wood, hitting the freaking soil with the ironite in it, and then going into the rock type, a special type of certain type of rock, and that's where the fulgurite blob occurred that made this happen. So if I could recreate that. And to recreate that, all I need to do is guarantee a lightning strike. If it doesn't work the first time, change it a little bit, change it a little bit, change it a little bit, change it a little bit. You'll get it eventually. It's called experiments. Well, if I mysteriously disappear, war, you guys will know why. Oh, right on, Callie. Yeah, of course, family. God, family, and country first. This is for entertainment purposes only. Take nothing I say seriously. Do not give me a strike, YouTube. I do not give out too much truth for you to hate me much. But even, hey, war, check this out. Would you guys watch a 3-minute show of just kick-ass lightning strikes happening throughout the sky? Different kinds that come down, the kinds that go sideways, the kinds that go up and down. And you had a new 3-minute to 5-minute YouTube show of just lightning strikes, because that's my next channel I'm going to do. It's going to be that channel, because if I'm going to be working with lightning, I like watching shows. Well, I'm weird, I guess. You guys probably don't like it. I don't know. Now that I think about it, just because I like it doesn't mean other people will. But I'm highly entertained for different reasons when I see lightning strikes. not YouTube, but videos. And in my research of lightning strikes, I didn't see that many videos of lightning strikes. So obviously, if you have a channel that once every 2 weeks or bi-monthly has a 3 to 5 minute nothing but brand new lightning strikes, obviously people will send me videos that I could put up as well. But I would definitely have more than enough if I have a process to where I can guarantee strikes hit in a certain area to get my thing that I want to get going. A byproduct of that will be a lightning strike channel, to where if I don't make money doing what I'm doing, at least the lightning strike channel will make money. Anyone can be normal. Are you calling me special? Yeah, being normal's easy, man. But yeah, I'm actually looking at around 40 acres with a house and a couple other buildings that'll be tore down on it. That's perfect to do my little thingy, because it's backed up by BML land on 25% of it, so no one's there, and there's like 400 yards away would be a house. So the closest house to a lightning strike that I would generate would be 400 yards away, which is insignificant. War. I've had people make up words for me. You get them so mad they don't speak properly as they're yelling at you. Yeah. The thing about being a little guy and hard to knock out. That's why I was in 1987, at age 17, in the Regional Command District of the Southeast part of America. However they break up their boxing association. For my weight division, I was a silver medalist of the Army in boxing at 17. And I had lots of fucking karate and kung fu trainings. My parents fell under the belief system that every port of call that we moved to, there was always some sort of a kung fu or karate teacher there. And Neil was hyperactive and needed guidance. So, hey, I got on. Have you ever heard of Oceanru or Ishinru? Yeah, they're Korean forms, hard style. One's hard style, one's a soft style. And the Korean form taking over Shotokan. So many weird name stuff. What? Oh, you better not, boy. You better jump down. Get down from there, you little rascallion. No mating. And that actually goes back to the Bruce Lee story. Here's Ginger. I actually know Tommy Lee, Bruce Lee's nephew from his wife. Before, who was Tommy from? No, sister. Tommy Lee. He lived on Divisadero and Hyatt, three houses off of Divisadero and Hyatt in San Francisco, and he makes guitars. He gold plates and makes gold guitars. And he would always have Wing Chun party, invite all the Wing Chun people from around the world. And so I got to know them real well. That's how I know that Bruce Lee was hated by the Chinese, because he was an American born. That's why that story fucked with me. When I heard it, I was like, oh, they are intentionally invading us. Oh, there's a lot of weird things, war, that people could trip on. And it's cool. I'm not saying it's not cool, but in reality, right now, in our lifetimes, you want to be concerned about gaining wealth, gaining opportunity, positioning yourself the best for what's happening, to where you can best prosper from it. And that's why you should be listening to a lot of different YouTube shows, doing your own research when you have time, and making sure that you're getting info you need to be getting to make proper decisions to place yourself in an advantageous position that you can take the greatest advantage of when it happens. Because if you're looking to get rich overnight, you don't need to be here. I usually tell shit that's going to happen a year or a year and a half after I say it. And that's why I probably don't have any viewers, because I'm too forward reaching. And I also touch on subjects that no other YouTubers will tell. I mean, there are YouTubers that'll tell you about platinum. The price has gone up. This is where the mint is. This is when they started minting it. And that is talking about platinum. I'm not denying it. That's talking about platinum. The kind of platinum I talk about is, oh, I can tell you when the manipulation of platinum's price started. I can tell you where to look for the paperwork to validate what I'm saying. And that type of talk on platinum, because I know the other stuff. It's generic. I know detailed information stuff from research on why platinum is so valuable for our technological future, why we don't have that much, why China bought 1/2 of the world's supply of it last year. That's stuff that these other YouTubers don't talk about, that do on a spare mention platinum, but no one talks about platinum. And I've had I don't want to call him famous, but he's got like 150,000 viewers or subscribers. So he's a bigger YouTuber, and he does financial gold, silver stuff. And he even said, "Dude, I'm not talking about it." He goes, "You're right, but I'm not talking about it." And I was like, "Okay, that's kind of weird." So I'm not in on the in crowd because I talk about platinum, possibly. I don't know. But that's why I thought, CLRMF. Let me make sure this chat's here open. CLRMF. Here's a 2-year play for you, because I'm like old school. I don't think she should have. Okay, you got enough. I don't think you should make money overnight, because the quicker it comes, quicker it goes. That's proven. If you win the lotto, the statistical national average, if you win the lotto, $7 million, 5 years, you're claiming bankruptcy. Statistical average. Okay, so a lot of people money comes fast, it goes fast. CLRMF, it's about 6 cents right now. They're still an exploration company, platinum mining company. They've already found a vein 1 mile long, starting at 400 meters, going to 600 meters, and they're still finding more. And they've already done the paperwork to start converting into a mining company. They're going to start pulling ore out of the ground end of 2027, beginning of 2028. That stock price will be $2 to $3, and they're going to pay dividends of probably 6% on, say, $1. That's 6 cents, the same price you can buy it for right now. That means if they pay dividends twice a year, you're making 100% profit off your initial investment by 2028. People don't like hearing that shit. That takes too long. But for you older guys like McGrails, like me, or smart younger people, that's called residual income. And if it goes up to $2, that number doubles. If it goes up to $10, now you're getting fucking 60 cents a share. 10 times what you paid for it as a dividend. Twice a year. What a return on investment. So that means if you throw $1,000 now, when it gets up to $10 a stock, and trust me, when they pull ore out of the ground, it's going to be the only platinum miner on the planet that's new. And we don't have to ship them from BRICS with all their rules and regulations against us. They will be buying from us because South Africa, BRICS nations, they're already down 2,200 meters. They're at the end of their platinum. They're going to be out of platinum within 5 years. They will not be able to mine anymore. There is no new platinum mines on the planet. Wait, there's one. I just told you about it. Yeah, people live above their means big time more. If you can make 2 or 3 sound investments, which I believe, and I cannot say for a fact because I'm not a financial advisor, but I believe, in my personal opinion, that CLRMF will be a company that you can get a residual income off with a minimal investment now at the price. And when I say minimal investment, 1,000. Say it's at 6 cents. Say, well, it's $1,000. Then you can get like, what, 10,000 shares, 10,000 shares. That's a residual income in 2 years that can take care of 2 months of your living expenses over the year, or 1/6 of your yearly expenses. Residual income. If you can get 3 of those, you cover half the year of in residual income upon retirement. When you get, or if you before retirement, I'm looking at it from my position, because I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm speaking from my position as a person, individual. I want to retire early. So if I can get a residual income that brings me in half of my yearly expenses before I go to my early retirement and other forms of income, my retirement's looking a lot better. And that's one way I look at things when I do things. And I came across this one stock, and I was like, damn, there's another small stock I've been looking at that I think is going to like shoot to the moon and back here probably next year. I got a couple 100,000 shares of it. It goes up to $10 right now. I'm getting 5 shares for a penny, and it probably will shoot up easily $10. That one I'll sell, so that way I pay off all the stuff that I own. So that way I don't need a residual income. So now my residual income becomes vacation money, and my early retirement becomes vacation money because I've paid everything off because it was a second good investment I made. And with that investment, I was looking at and did my research for as a turning stock, more long term, because I knew that President Trump was going to legalize or decriminalize marijuana. I knew this a year in advance because I pay attention to what our government's doing. And I saw the Department of, what was it? It was the Justice Department and the FDA. This is Pumpkinhead. Justice Department, FDA, November 6, 2024, started working on the language, and this is what it states in the federal paperwork, the language to change the wording to decriminalize weed from a class 1 to a class 3, which means it takes it out of felony and makes it a misdemeanor. I knew that because I knew what the government was going to do. And then just about 2 months ago, Trump signed an executive order. And well, hey, so now they're going through the legal stuff. They're fighting it in court. The Democrats don't want it to happen, whatever. But it's going to happen. And then there's going to be several tens of billions of dollars flooding into that fucking marketplace, if not more than billions, might be close to $1 trillion or $2 trillion. And anytime the waters rise, all the stocks go with it. And if you look at what this stock that I'm looking at does, that's 5. You get 5 shares for a penny. It's worth a hell of a lot more than that if it's legal. Now it is. Well, technically it is. In a couple of months, it'll be physically legal. Legal battles will be over. Yes, I love you, Pumpkinhead. But you see this right here? I'm on TV. I can't be playing with you. So it's going to pay off. And I suggest you look at things like that. And for that perspective, I'm using that as a sell stock where I'll sell all of it to pay off stuff. So I don't need a residual income. So that now my residual income that I built up by looking at these other stocks to use as residual incomes now becomes fun money. Now my retirement goes to, I have to eat or pay for my prescriptions well, first off, I don't do prescriptions, but if I did, my choice would not be that because I'd be able to afford both. Because I chose a stock that would, in my personal opinion and feelings, would rise enough to where I could sell it and pay off my house, my car, buy some land, get a vacation or two, set aside the money for that, and then take that to the other stocks that I'm using as what I perceive to be a residual income and use that as money to live off of. And then I'll have my early retirement, and all this will be done before I'm 59. So I'll be 3 years ahead of my retirement. Hold on, wait. They moved it to 67. I'll be 8 years ahead. That's why I'm taking my early retirement from the Iron Workers Union. Well, Social Security will be there, or it'll be there. It's just not going to be what it is today because prices are going up and that paycheck's not going up. That Social Security's not going up, especially if we give it to everyone who comes into this country illegally, which we have been doing. Them stopping that will stop the flood of money and will allow it to grow again, and it'll eventually get back on track. But it'll take like 10 years or so easy. But irrelevant. That's why you don't count on Social Security. That's why you make your own pathway for retirement. Let me ask you a question. Why do you trust your government? If you think you're going to live on Social Security, what you have just told yourself is you trust your government. Okay, so if you trust your government, why are you bitching? Why are you saying anything about it? You trust them for Social Security. Good point, honey. Now, if you don't trust your government, governments change. Every 4 years, they change. Every 8 years, whatever. It's a bullshit game. Make your own future financially. You've got the ability to do it. Roll with that game. Then whatever they do, it doesn't matter because you're going to be financially set unless they actually enslave us, in which case nothing you would have done could have stopped it. But if you have money, you can help others, other family members, other friends. I have several backups. That's what I'm saying. Don't trust the government. When I knew Social Security wasn't going to be around as soon as I was around 20. I started looking at it. It was like, man, those numbers aren't adding up the way they were when I was in first grade. And I looked at it and I saw it and I was like, damn, we're going to get 4, 5, 6-figure checks when we get old because it's going to keep going up like it was supposed to until they started tapping into it. So I've seen that happen in my lifetime. That's why I stayed union, because I wanted these retirement credits. They pay $110 per retirement credit. I got 16 retirement credits. It's like $1,800. I get 60% of that if I early retire. That's like $1,100, $1,200. That right there covers a $200,000 house payment with land in Alabama. If I can pay that off through successively purchasing a low dollar stock and have it go up significantly to where it could pay that off, well, now my early retirement is like, but see, I'm not just sit around my ass kind of guy like that. I'm still got other investments I've got going, and that money is actually going to be meaningless to me because I'm going to have other money coming in. It's going to be so much greater because not only am I buying stocks for residual income and for turning for profit, this guy's going to get tired. I'm getting a hold of some crypto and what else? Precious metals, starting a company. When are you going to get tired? He's still purring, so he's not nearly tired enough. And yeah, I got other things. I'm creating a couple companies. Again, I got the B thing once this jewelry thing starts, or gym thing, and then from the gym thing, I'm also going to start a jewelry company beside the gym company for paperwork reasons and for umbrella corporation reasons. I'm starting several different companies and have them all umbrellaed under one corporation, and have that put into a living trust. But that's another way you can protect from paying from taxes, by the way. This guy's not giving up. Okay, don't bother me though. Okay, this will get rid of him. He hates smoke. I didn't want to do it to you, big guy. Told you he doesn't like smoke. I don't like doing that. That's why I put him down like 6 times first. But each time he jumped up, his claws are little, but they still stick. The bigger cats do it, I get a little bit of reaction. It's like, ooh. Because their claws are like 3 times as big as his. But anyhow, yeah, buy some silver, some platinum, some crystallized osmium. I hope you guys got some information on this as far as the Navy using their own financial system for over 2.5 decades successfully. And oh, by the way, it looks a lot like the system we're getting conveniently. So as I said, your government foretells everything. You just need to know where to look. To know where to look, you can't be sidetracked with look over here, look over here. Oh, I believe in this. Oh, I believe in this. But at the same time, you have to have that for certain scenarios. When you're looking at certain stocks, for whatever the reason you're going for that stock, you need to have that blinders on for that investment, not for everything. And that investment's not everything. You should have several investments in several different asset classes. And those are the ones you should pay attention to with blinders on. But having said that, you should be able to step back, see the geopolitical, see what else is going on, how it interacts with your investments, and then adjust accordingly. And if you can manage, juggle that, you'll be successful. Anyhow, with that, I'm going to leave you great people. Thank you for showing up today. I do appreciate it. I hope that by showing you that the Navy has been successfully using the system that we are now currently, as we speak, adopting, converting over to a national, international system. It's been perfected by the Navy. The only problem is they're upscaling it for the whole world, mostly for America to start with, which has already happened, and we don't even realize it. And it's now being integrated in the whole world. And the ISO 222. Peace out, peoples.